How's it going, Guardians? Shifty here, and with the release of Season of the Haunted today, I just wanted to make a quick video to go over the new seasonal artifact mods, as well as the new exotics available. Now, I'll put the exotics at the end of the video in case you want to avoid any sort of spoilers. In just a moment, I'm going to be going over those seasonal artifact mods, but before I do that, if you end up enjoying today's video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright, so the artifact for Season of the Haunted is the Nightmare Harvester, which you will acquire after you complete the first mission of the season. Upon inspecting the Nightmare Harvester, you'll see in the first column we do have the usual anti-champion mods. So, this season we're going to be dealing with anti-barrier sidearms. We unfortunately have the Overload Auto Rifle and Submachine Gun mod back. Those two weapon types aren't all that consistent for Overload champions, but here we're stuck with it again. However, a little bit later you'll see we have a different Overload weapon type this season. Then we have Unstoppable Scout Rifles. We again have the Unstoppable Glaive. And this time around we have Anti-Barrier Pulse Rifles. In the second column we have Shotgun Holster. We have Trace Rifle Ammo Finder. We have Nightmarish Opulence. This is obviously a new mod, and it increases the duration of the Psycho Hack origin trait and the effect of the Extrovert origin trait. Then we have Pulse Rifle Targeting and Sidearm Holster. In the third column here we have Shotgun Dexterity. We have Trace Rifle Reserves. Then we have Unquenchable Thirst, which increases the buff effect of the 2 Excess origin trait and the healing effect of the Soul Drinker origin trait. This season we again have a dual resist mod in the artifact. We have Armor of the Dying Star. This reduces incoming solar and void damage. The final mod in the third column here is Sidearm Dexterity. Now in this fourth column here you can see we have Overload Trace Rifles, and I think this is going to be an excellent choice this season. It's going to be a much better choice than Overload Auto Rifles or Overload SMGs. Then we have Revitalizing Blast. Stunning a champion causes it to ignite and clears your shield stun. We have the return of the Withering Heat mod as the third mod here. Causing damage with a solar ability weakens champions for a short duration. This is a really excellent mod for activities involving champions. Then we have the Molten Overload mod. This makes it so solar grenades cause overload disruption, delaying ability regeneration, and lowering combatants' damage output. This is going to be another excellent choice against overload champions. Next up is the Glaive of Dreams. While you have a glaive equipped, the unstable essence buff gained by picking up objects dropped by nightmares has double its normal duration. The first mod in the final column is Classy Restoration. Activating your solar class abilities grants you restoration. Then we have Radiant Orbs. Picking up an orb of power makes you radiant. The third mod is Rays of Precision. While radiant, solar precision final blows cause combatants to ignite. Then we have Flame Harvesting, so solar exotic final blows create solar elemental wells. And the final mod in the last column here is Solar Fulmination. Your ignitions do increased damage in an increased radius. So overall, unsurprisingly, we have a lot of mods focused on the solar subclass since Solar 3.0 was released today. If you want to check it out, I will have a video covering the solar aspects and fragments in just a little while, but I do want to move on to the new exotics for the season. Now, if you want to avoid spoilers on these new exotics, make sure to click off the video right now, but if you do want to see all of the new exotics this season, make sure to stick around. I'm going to cover the new exotic weapons and the new exotic armor piece for each class. Alright, so first up I'm going to cover the new exotic sidearm, the Trespasser, which comes from the Season's Pass. So this is a burst sidearm, and let's go over the exotic traits real quick. The first one is Be the Danger. Final blows with Unrepentant Super Burst automatically reload your weapon and provide an Unrepentant Super Burst. As you can see here, that perk refers to the intrinsic trait down here, Unrepentant. Reloading after defeating a target causes the next burst to be a longer, more powerful Super Burst. So normally I believe this is a 3-round burst sidearm, but that Super Burst is going to turn it into a 6-round burst. If you didn't know, this is a returning exotic from Destiny 1, so we're going to see how it shakes up things in the Crucible, and I think it'll be a fun option in PvE as well. Now again, I do want to warn you that the next exotic is a pretty massive spoiler, so if you don't want to know about it, please click off the video right now. The other exotic weapon introduced this season is called Heart Shadow. This is a new exotic sword, and this does come from the new dungeon. The catalyst for the sword also comes from the new dungeon. Now for exotic traits here, we have Shot in the Dark. Remaining invisible grants this weapon increased damage for a brief duration. Also, hitting a target with this weapon's projectiles while Shot in the Dark is active weakens them. Now, if you pair that with the intrinsic trait down here, this is going to make a really interesting sword. The intrinsic trait is Exhumation. Heavy attacks made with full sword energy turn you invisible, and they fire exploding void projectiles. So again, this does come from the new dungeon that is releasing this Friday. Alright, let's move on to the new exotic armor pieces for each class. The Titan exotic this season is called Second Chance, and you can see it's a pretty bulky exotic here. They've really leaned into the big shoulders aspect here. But the exotic perk for this exotic is called Myrmidon's Reach. You gain a second charge of your shield throw melee, which becomes shield piercing and stuns barrier champions. So, not related to solar at all, but this could be a decent option when we don't have great anti-barrier weapons. Now, the new Hunter exotic looks pretty cool, and it's called Caliban's Hand. The perk here is called Roastum, and it makes it so your proximity knife scorches targets and damages with its explosions, or ignites targets on a direct hit. Also, after throwing a proximity knife, you gain increased melee regeneration until the knife explodes. I can see this being a really fun exotic to use in the Crucible if you're a fan of the proximity knife. You could really lean into a melee focused build with this particular exotic. And last but not least, the Warlock exotic for the season is called Rain of Fire, and overall it doesn't look all that interesting to me. I'm not really a fan of the camo aesthetic there, but the exotic perk here is called Soaring Fusilier. Air dodge reloads all of your weapons and improves the airborne effectiveness of fusion rifles and linear fusion rifles. Final blows with these weapons make you radiant, and if I remember right, radiant makes it so your weapon damages increase slightly. As both a Warlock main and a fusion rifle main, I'm really going to enjoy giving this exotic a go in the Crucible. Anyway, that is all I wanted to cover in this video. I wanted to go over the new artifact mods and cover all of the new seasonal exotics. Let me know what artifact mods you're looking forward to using, and let me know which of these new exotics looks to be your favorite. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you ended up enjoying it, make sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe as well. Again, in just a little while, I'll be covering Solar 3.0 in another video. I'll be going over the new abilities as well as the aspects and fragments for each class. So, I'll catch you in that one.